Yo, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Morning Market Report. I am Army Piper, and I'm running a solo show today. OC had some stuff he had to be taken care of. So, guys, just watching Bitcoin here, really what we're doing, pulling into the 382, still watching that $110,000 range. A lot of sell off. And we're going to talk about the Dow Jones today. Just got some economic data that just came in. The ISM data just came in also. And if you take a look at the crypto bubbles here, we got kind of a mixed day, a little bit of green, a little bit of red. Overall, though, it is saying it's a red day. And right now, Bitcoin down about 0.6% on the daily. Ethereum holding on to a 0.5% upside move. We're going to be breaking all this down, looking at some articles, talking about some headlines and why we should be a little prepared, a little more prepared right now. I won't say scared, a little more prepared for what's going on in the markets, guys. All this and a whole lot more right here today on the Morning Market Report. You guys know what time it is. Take your seats, get your pens out, take some notes. Let's get it. Class in session. Good morning, everyone. Shout out to all the alumni joining us right now. I do think we're going to be having the Alex O Crypto Show coming over here real soon. Also, the OG is going to be joining us in the house. So shout out to all of them. We do have another emoji. I got LBC's emoji in there. So we now have the LBC shark in there with us. And then also still got Pie Bear. Pie Bear is a thing. But as the thumbnail said, summer bulls, where are you? Calling all summer bulls. We need you to come in and step in here because that's actually what an article is talking about. If you guys don't know, little talk on Wall Street right now. That's the Dow Jones has hit a double top. So typically not a good sign. That's what that means. So shout out to Alex O Crypto getting all settled in. It was good to see you live again this morning, Alex. Just let you know, bro. I missed your morning live stream. That's what I listen to that every morning while I'm getting prepped for my show and get everything set up. You're like my start off. You're my daily start off. It's like Alex O coffee, kiss the wife, right? That's just gotta give you a shout out for being back on live, man. We missed you, bro. And shout out to the OGs that are joining us in the chat right now. Let's go ahead and get set up here. Let me do a little tweaking on my monitor screen over here so I can get this set up. But I want to go jump in on the news because we did just get news at the top of the hour. Again, OC won't be joining us today. He is taking care of a meeting. He got a business meeting to take care of. So we're going to be running solo. Just me, the OGs, and the alumni hanging out together here. Shout out to all of you. I appreciate you guys being here. And let's go jump over to the news. Let's do that. All right. and it's the news. And that is not my chart. What is going on with my chart? Let me fix that for you. First of all, sir, I'm going to need you to be the right screen for the news. It happened because I reset everything. That's what happens. It happens like that. All right, go in here. Let's do Safari, and then let's do that. There we go. Much better. All right, guys. Looking at the metrics here on Into the Cryptoverse this morning. No, it's not in that order. It's actually kiss the wife. Actually, I usually let the wife sleep in with the puppy. So I'll go and I'll make coffee and then I'll get everything turned on in the studio. And then I'll start my Alex O stream, prep my show. And then when I go to do, get another cup of coffee, wife is typically up. That's where she gets the good mornings and the kiss. Puppy gets belly rubs, Shout out to Gypsy. If you guys know, you know. So what we're watching here, guys, on the metrics today, we are seeing that the crypto market cap is currently sitting at $3.742 trillion. Trend on this is at $4.161 trillion. Undervalued right now about 10.05%. Okay. So this has been grinding down. We got pretty close to this being in line with the median. We are getting a little slowdown. And remember, the median goes up as time goes on. So it's not like price dropped a lot here. You see this part right here where there we go. You see this part right here where price drops way below the median line. It's not like it dropped that low. It actually went up over time, but the median had a much stronger growth. And that's what we're seeing, this number going up. It's now 10.22. We just saw it change in real time. Looking at the Bitcoin risk bands, we're at 54.4% risk, meaning this is still a 2x DCA. And that's what we're doing. So we dropped those yesterday, the DCA levels for the week. Bitcoin sitting at a 2x DCA for this week still. And then all the altcoins over there. If you guys are in the community, if you're members, you have access to all of it. Go check it out. Looking here at the stablecoin dominance and no stablecoin dominance with Bitcoin and for Bitcoin dominance overall. Guys, with stablecoins, we're sitting at 60.72% Bitcoin dominance. Without stables, we're holding over 65%. Bitcoin dominance continuing to hold strong despite the altcoins having their little rally. Not in alt season yet, in my opinion. Let's jump over here and check out X marks the spot, guys. Fear and greed index currently sitting at 60 right now. We are in greed, not extreme greed, though. We still got about 16 more points technically before we would hit extreme greed. I do want to talk about this, and this is based on those job numbers that came out, and then wage growth was one of those factors that they calculated in there. And if we take a look at this, we can see wage growth for the lowest paid workers in the U.S. slowed to 3.7% year over year in June, lowest in 7 years. Yikes. That's more than a 50% drop from the 7.5% peak that we saw in 2022 when they were paying everybody to come back to work. These are workers currently earning less than $806 a week. It's not a lot. For many, it's this they wouldn't be able to survive on this in today's economy, guys. Meanwhile, the top earners, those making over $1,887 a week, saw wages rise by 4.7% year over year. So the rich got richer and the poor got more poor. Overall workforce saw a 4.3% wage growth, but the gap between the rich and the poor getting extremely wide. So this is why Bitcoin. Okay. Yeah, we'll get into the other stuff here in a bit. Let's jump over here and take a look at the stock market this morning. We are now in the market open. Let's kick that in there. There we go. Dow Jones down about 0.16. As I was telling you, Dow Jones had a double top, and there is some market chatter going on about that. S&P sitting pretty much flat at 0.07. And the NASDAQ up just slightly, 0.14%. Most of this on the shoulders of Palantir. So shout out to Palantir. If you guys saw their earnings yesterday, we're actually going to talk a little bit about that. They did get quite the boost. Russell 2K is up about 0.72, and it's interesting that we see the Russell 2K being the top performer today. This is usually Main Street, so retail pumping up some stocks there, and the volatility index sitting at 17.8. How about the European markets overnight? Mostly in the green, all in the green. Actually, Asian markets all was in the green except for India. The Nifty 50 had a very slight pullback in the bonds market, guys. 10-year yield making its pump up again to 4.212%. 10-year yield. They just can't get that thing down. Will we see the 10-year yield start to level off and come down when we get rate cuts? And I do believe the rate cuts are going to be coming in September now. So I don't know. It could be 2-dub. Very possibly. Very possibly. Looking here at the oil. Oil. You guys see, I'm not going to say what she said, but because actually, YouTube might boost me for that. Could it be because we have a president who could care less about the everyday person? There you go, YouTube. See, I just bashed on the president, your least favorite person, Google. Can you up my videos now? Thanks. Oil 65.51 there, down negative 1.18%. Brent nat gas is the only one that's up. Everything else in the oil realm is down today. Gold is holding pretty tight to that $3,400 level that it reclaimed. It is up 0.12%. Silver is at 37.62. Copper, platinum, and palladium all taking downside moves now today. Let's talk about this bearish double top pounding that we just saw. Actually, no, we're going to come back to this. Hold that thought, folks. I want to jump in this economic data because we just got an economic data report that we got released at 9. It's going to be ISM services, PMI. And what is this, you ask? Well, that's a good question. It's the non-manufacturing, keep that in mind. ISM report on business is based on data compiled from purchasing and supply executives nationwide. Survey responses reflect the change, if any, in the current month. This has to do with new orders, backlog of orders, new export orders, inventory changes, inventory sentiment, imports, so on and so forth. This report shows the percentage reporting each response and the diffusion index. So let's go up here and take a look. ISM services unexpectedly fell to 50.1 in July from 50.8 in June, below the forecast of 51.5. They thought it was going to go up. It actually went down underneath where it was at. This reading showed that the services sector nearly stagnated. with seasonal and weather factors having a negative impact on business. So a little bit of this is because of all the different weather that we've been having going on. A slowdown was seen for business activity and production, new orders, inventories, also price pressure intensified to the highest since October 2022. So price pressures, I wonder where that came from. With the most common topic among survey panelists remaining, oh, there it is, tariff-related impacts, particularly in commodities. Let's go back and take a look at these numbers. Again, it was at 50.8. Expectations without meet or break 51, came in at 50.1 this morning on an ISM non-manufacturing index. So not a good sign. It's a more continuation that we are having a weakening economy take place. And as someone said earlier in Discord, I'm not tired of winning yet. So we'll see what happens there. What else do we have here? Tomorrow we're going to get new mortgage rates. Nothing major going on there. And then on Thursday, we're going to get that weekly unemployment claim. You can see that it's actually expected to be higher on top of that weakening labor market that we have. So, and then that's it. That's all we have for this week. This was actually the biggest event this week was the ISM. So there you go. That is what I'm seeing there. Let's go over into Palantir. Talk about that. Palantir, guys. Yesterday we were talking about Palantir in one of the groups that I teach in. Palantir tops $1 billion in revenue for the first time and boosts its guidance. Yeah, they crushed it. They absolutely crushed it. It rallied 3% after the bell on closing yesterday. The shares earnings per share, the EPS, was expected to be 14 cents. It came in at 16. And the revenue was expected to be 940 million, came in at 1 billion. So and they're here to stay, guys. I really do think that they are way oversold. Don't get me wrong there. Way overbought, I should say. Microsoft. Microsoft's valuation is much lower. This is kind of like I think 10 times higher than Microsoft's valuations. But I think that Palantir it's at a new front. It's best performing stock this year on the stock market. So that is Palantir. And I think we'll go into some of this other stuff a little bit later. I do want to talk about the crypto bubbles and we'll talk about the liquidations. Looking here at crypto bubbles right now, we are a lot in the red now. Daily is pulling back 1.1%. Ethereum just gave back all of that in the time that we were talking here. It was a massive dump there on Ethereum. So let's go get into the charts, talk about that. But first, let's jump over here. Nope, let's go here. There we go. Say, give a shout out to everybody in the chat right now. Leonard Beach is in here. JR is in the house with us. Who else we got? His diction, amazing. I'm not sure what your name is, but welcome, man. I'm happy to have you here, bro. BC Port Corp is in here. Alexandra G, the Mod Cream Crypto Coin Mindset joining us in here. Harp is in here. LBC, I see you, bro. He said he's got the best emoji in the game right there. There it is. The LBC shark. Harp, appreciate you. 2Dub. And JB Hulk Smash. If I missed anybody, I'm trying to go quick here. I don't have anyone handed off to today, but that's okay. Daniel Barnes, I enjoyed my cup of coffee with y'all this morning, but I have to head out early. Peace, love, profits. Appreciate you, bro. And Mike Play, I see you up there, bro. I saw Donato Cabrera in here, Dylan VA, Kelly. You think we're going down? I do. This is what we talked about yesterday, Kelly. OC and I are watching 110 as the first level of support, first line in the sand, and then 106. And then if you take a look at the Dow Jones, which we're going to look at that article here in a little bit, did create a double top, and historically that has not been a good thing to see in the market. So let's go jump in on our charts. Let me get this back over there. Let's go to the charts and let's do that. All right, looking at the charts here, guys, we are coming back down on the 382 on Bitcoin right now. Let's see what we got going on. We did have a value area low. That's off this fixed range volume profile that dates back here to 8 July. I wanted to make sure that I included this big rally of volume here that led us to this upside move. And right now we did pull below. We closed a CME gap. You can see, well, we came close to, not CME gap, a fair value gap. You can see right here, there was a fair value gap in this range here. There we go. Let me get the triangle tool. Rectangle tool, please. Triangles. Geometry. I hate geometry. All right, let's get this in here and let's show this. This is the fair value gap that was created back here on this big candle. We had another one here that we closed out already. That fair value gap, if you don't know, would be in this range here. There we go. That one got closed out, right? So that was gone. We had a fair value gap here and we've almost closed it out, but it's not completely closed out. We do have a little bit of a box here on the 4-hour left here to go. If you put this on a higher time frame, probably did get closed out, but as of right now, we do have this area here that we're going to be watching for some price action below. And I'm watching 110. What am I watching 110? Well, first of all, we do have the 0.5 fib coming down here. Okay. There is if we come down and bounce on that, that is typically a bullish thing. But also, because money flow is in the red, volume is starting to come back in, but volume can be wishy-washy. You might have a volume move that can take it to the downside still, but volume is coming up. Money flow is coming down right now. Let's take a look at the daily here on Bitcoin and just see what's going on, because we did get that rejection again off of that value area low, and right now we're at the delta line. If we take a look down here, our next level on the predictive ranges is going to be a lower gold band, which is going to be right in line with the 100-day simple moving average. 50 moving average is where we got our bounce yesterday before that rejection and retest, OC retest right there on value area low on top of the median of the predictive ranges. And if we break this, I would expect that we're heading to the lower golden band and the 100-day simple moving average, and that's coming in right at 109 in that ballpark. So a couple of levels there that we're watching. Of course, if we take a look at the liquidations, go look at the liquidations, where we're at there, crypto liquidation levels on the monthly. I want to give this a refresh just to make sure what I'm seeing. If you look at max pain here for the longs, guys, meaning the level that that people will get hit the hardest, right? That level is coming in right at 109,763. So 109,763, 110, 109, 110. That's the level for me to watch. This is going to be where the longs get hit with the biggest level of liquidations. Their max pain level is right now in that 110 range also. So, of course, upside move is 120,500. So, hey, well, we're going to get up there too. But let's take a look at the heat map and just see. We are much closer to going down and grabbing this liquidity and doing a liquidity sweep right there in that range before we head up. I just think that would, looking at this chart, let's go to the closest range to get the money. What are we seeing here? 3.72% away, 5.7% away for the upside. So, yeah, I won't be surprised to see that this actually does do a downside sweep of those levels. And again, let's go look at the chart and see that level is going to be right here at 112, and we're heading down into it right now. So yeah, we got to be prepared on this, guys. Don't be scared, be prepared. That's what we do here at the Piper Academy. So shout out to Baba Yaz. I see you in here, bro. He said Piper Bear, Pie Bear in the chat. So I appreciate you, man. Sometimes you got to be bearish. It's not bullish or bearish is like, a personality, a persona of absolutes, right? It's really a matter of that we have to look at ups and downs, and there's a 50-50 chance of either one. Or I guess it would be more like a 45, 10% chance of sideways, unless you're Bitcoin. Then you can consolidate range forever. But right now, I am thinking that we're going to see some downside moves. So tried the link during live. It didn't work. Oh, she's talking about Alex O's Discord. Got it. Okay. Let's go take a look at some other things over here. I want to talk about this. I've referenced the Dow Jones article a couple of times, but a bearish double top pattern just formed in the Dow. What that means. So a double top pattern formed in the Dow Jones Industrial Average last week, an indicator of tough times ahead as signs of fatigue surface in the overall market. A double top occurs when an asset reaches a high price twice and fails to break through, often a bearish indicator suggesting buyer exhaustion and a loss of momentum. Last week, the 30 stock index formed a pattern when it failed to punch past resistance around the 45,000 point level. That failure could mean further downside for the Dow, starting with support at 42,500, which is just below the 200-day simple moving average and a roughly 2.5% drop from Friday's close, which According to a Sunday note from the Bank of America Securities, more Fibonacci retracement levels, which chart out potential support thresholds, are also at 41.8 and 40,800. The Dow Jones failed to break out of that 45.73.63 to show signs of breadth and rotation. Instead, it formed a double top pattern. So there you go. You can see that there. There's the top. There's the top, and that's what they're referring to. Double top of the Dow Jones is not the only sign of weakness. Weakening market internals. There are many chart analysts over the week flagged other potential warning signs for the near-term outlook. J.C. O'Hara, chief market technician at Roth, pointed out that plenty of equity indices have run straight into chart resistance. The bears started to awaken from their summer slumber. The market is priced to perfection and now prone for near-term downside risk. Guys, let's note that near-term downside risk. Okay. A weakening macroeconomic outlook, which we've seen with the job market, so on and so forth. Inflation getting sticky, slowdown on manufacturing, all of these factors, that's what they're referring to. Could add to the market woes. Stocks sold off Friday after the latest jobs data, which 800,000 jobs don't exist that they said existed, revealed severe cracks in the labor market and raised fears that the U.S. is headed for a recession. Really good video, and I'll talk about this in a minute, last night from Andre Jick on that topic. So on Monday, however, stocks did recoup some of their losses yesterday. From Friday's sell-off, the Dow Jones was higher by more than 500 points. So what needs to happen? Really, we need the bulls. We need the bulls to come in and put these summer bears to bed. That's what we need. Let's jump over here real fast. Actually, we'll go to chat cam. There we go. So Andre Jick did a video yesterday, and he was talking about job numbers and recession. Just so you guys know, the first indicator we start to see on recession is before the recession ever gets kicked off, and that is weakening job numbers. And so we need 80,000 to 100,000 jobs monthly to be created per month in order to keep up with population growth. Okay. And you've got jobs that people left, right? They're getting old and they're retiring, so on and so forth, and those get filled by new people, but you still need a job growth projection of 80 to 100K monthly. We were at, I think it was 14K and 17K for May and June after the revisions. So way under that 80K mark, right? And then we were only at 73K this month. The 73,000 jobs created was what the number was that they put out. Now, let's keep in mind that you do have a factor. They're using a model that's looking at, okay, well, there's so many new businesses that open and, small mom and pop places and stuff, and they can't track all of those. So there is overall, there's like this, all right, we're going to put this artificial place block in here for numbers, right? Because this is what the typical growth is of businesses. But right now, small businesses can't get good loans to start up. Why? I don't know, 10-year yield's not coming down, right? So that number, I think, is where a big chunk of that inaccuracy in the counting comes from. So that 14K and 17K and the 73K, very likely that 17K is miscalculated on that model also. That model is broken, which means that we're probably going to have a revision of the 73K all the way down, also probably in the 20K range or maybe even lower. So the continuation of all of that, and this is all factors that occur before we head into recession. If you look at the FRED, FRED, it's the Federal Reserve Economic I don't remember what it stands for. Anyway, the FRED is where all this data is hung at from the Bureau of Labor Statistics and all these different federal agencies, right? If you go over there and look at the job numbers, you'll see that the job numbers, they hit their bottom and start to peak up, and then the recessionary period occurs. So that is when we normally get into the recessionary period. BC Port Corp Piper, can we talk about all the topping indicators we've been seeing in the news, like every company and their mama doing treasuries and altcoins? Yeah, that's speculation, man. And then it's new. There's a lot of regulation coming out on it. So I don't know that we can say that that is a top side indicator anymore, because just because they're getting into it, we didn't have regulation on ramps like we have now, right? You're seeing everything with banks coming out. Matter of fact, banks are getting ready to get schwacked, if you will. Schwacked, it's a word. Getting ready to get hit by the federal government for debanking people during the choke point 2.0. So coffee break, coffee break. So I think that you do have a little bit of a factor there of, hey, this is new. This is a speculative risk asset that we can put a little money into. Let's buy some of these altcoins and see what happens with them. I think that you have this regulatory on ramp for that now that causes a little bit of that and may not be as much of a top side as we think. So, did anyone ever point out the inaccuracies in the job stats when the numbers were good? Um, yeah, I did. For a year now, I have been digging through and telling you guys where the bad numbers were at and why their data they were putting out was not good. So, two dub, there you go. Just been trying to do I've been doing God's work over here for job numbers. Okay, you guys have no idea how many reports I have to dig through to get those numbers that I told you were there that they weren't showing you. So, um, let's go talk about. Let's see here. Let's talk about this. I just talked about this. Let's go there. So, looking here, guys, President Trump to sign executive order threatening penalties for crypto debanking report. So, the President Trump is reportedly set to sign an executive order. Piper Bear doing the Lord's work. Appreciate you, man. Set to sign an executive order to protect crypto companies and other firms and individuals from debanking. The draft of the order directs regulators to investigate banks if banks have violated any laws and threatens to fine firms involved, according to the Wall Street Journal. President Trump is preparing to sign an executive order. The draft of the order, as seen by the outlets, aims to tackle perceived discrimination against crypto firms and conservatives. I think that's anybody. I don't know that it's conservatives directly. I think there's a lot of people that could not get into crypto, Mr. Trump, because their bank said, "Oh, you bought Coinbase, you moved money over to Coinbase, and we don't like people being in crypto, and so we're going to debank you." Yeah, they debanked Brian Armstrong. Exactly. Threatening to fine banks that cut off customers for political reasons alongside consent decrees or other disciplinary measures. It's also reportedly directs regulators to investigate any financial institution if they have violated the Equal Credit Opportunity Act, antitrust laws, or consumer financial protection laws. So, let's talk about this, because here's my problem with debanking from a bank. I will get to that question in a second, sir. 1 second. Here's my problem with banks debanking individuals because of their choice of investment. I'm a grown ass man. I know how to take and accept my own risk. If I want to go buy something that I think is speculative, risk to reward, it is not on my bank to tell me what I can and can't do with my money. And the day that that happens with the bank will be the last day that bank ever gets a credit card from me, a loan from me, my money at all, period. It's just not going to happen. I have that right also. I can put my money where I want to put my money, and that includes with my freaking bank. So there's my soapbox message for the day. But yeah, I'm glad to see that this is starting to happen. The Operation Choke Point 2.0 was a pretty nasty thing. So, and we should never ever have banks saying you can't. We're going to stop moving you from moving your money because we don't like you putting your money in a place that's the biggest threat to the banking industry, crypto. So there you go. And it is. That's why do you think all of these banks are now wanting to get involved in crypto custody, and why all these exchanges are now applying for bank licenses. So you can go gamble in Vegas, take out a debt to do it, but God forbid you want to buy Bitcoin and exit their system. Exactly, BC Port Corp. We're throwing you up on the screen for that one. There you go. There you go. All right. So the question was long term, which is best, long or short? Easy. Easy answer. Long. Are you talking about with leverage or spot? That would be the big question, because if you're talking about with leverage, then obviously you have to deal with volatility. And I never recommend long-term trading for spot. Okay, that are for leverage because volatility is going to come back and they're going to see an order and more orders are going to build up. Trust me, you have a psychological reason for setting your stop loss somewhere. You have a psychological reason for entering somewhere. You have a psychological reason for take profit somewhere. You're not the only one. You're not an isolated thought process. Let me show you on the chart here, and I'll just give you a quick rundown on why I say this. Let's go back and take a look at, for example, Ethereum. Let's do Ethereum on here, and let's put this on a daily, okay? And let's look at this chart here. And I don't know if you've ever seen this chart, if you're new here or not, but you can see right here, this is the low that we had in 2020. This is the high that we had in 2021. This is the low that we had in 2022. Pulling a trend-based fib here on these 3 points gives us this fib extension, okay? It's a trend-based fib. You can find it right here, trend-based fib extensions, and I just pulled 3 points and let it run, okay? Look at our top side here. Sell, 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 right? All happened in the golden pocket, the 0.618 to the 0.66. 66 is not a fib level, it's a GAN level, but I like to use it because everyone knows about the 0.65. And so they'll set stop losses just beyond the 0.65. And that's typically in the 0.66, a GAN level range. So I am preempting what people are going to preempt. I'm trying to stay 2 steps ahead, right? So look at this golden pocket. Do you think that all of these people sold at this time in a massive coordinated effect? Hey, when it hits this price level above 3,825, we're all selling, okay? And so that's not what happens, right? What happens is everybody just sells at this level on their own. And these are fibs, guys. This is the golden ratio of the Fibonacci sequence. And if you go and look at that, it's everywhere. It's in flowers. It's in the cluster spiral of the universe. It's in shells. It's everything grows based on this exponential multiplication range of the 0.618, right? And so the golden ratio, 786, 618, 2 of the most important numbers out there in the universe. It's present everywhere. You got, just go look it up. Go look it up. You'll see why it's important. Why is it interesting? Because this is people reacting to this number that's present in the universe. Okay, the golden ratio. Right there, everyone's reacting at the same time, like we're all biological. We're all biologically programmed computers operating on code right there. So that's why I find it interesting about why you don't want to be in a trade, because everyone is going to operate on these numbers whether they know it or not. If you don't know how to pull a fib, we have all kinds of classes that OC does that you can check out. He talked a whole video about that, about how to pull fibs. But let's talk about why I say long is the way to go if you're looking at long term and you're looking at spot. Let's go back here and let's go to this tool here. Let's go to DCA strategies. There we go. Thank you very much. And let's go to Bitcoin and let's put this on the weekly. We're going to do a weekly DCA on Sundays. Okay. And we're going to put this all the way back to 2021. This is the market top. Okay. In 2021, we're going to put this on November 21st, 2021, back in the day. And we're going to put this to the current date of August. There we go. And we're going to look at just lump sum DCA. Okay. $100 a week, buying in at the very top of the market. You'd be in total invested. Nope, lump sum. I want DCA equaling out. There we go. You would have bought in with $19,400 for 194 weeks. You'd be up 208% right now. Not bad. 8% return on the markets, right? 208% just dollar cost averaging when you were at the top all the way down through back again. What we do here at the Piper Academy is the Piper plan, and we do a dynamic DCA and we have a take profit level on it. And now that we look at this one, let's go take a look. We're going to do $100 a week. Actually, we're going to lessen this because we're going to have some weeks that are more. Dynamic DCA. What does this mean? This means that Some weeks, as it goes lower, you will do more. So you'll multiply your weekly DCA by 1 or 2 or 3. And so you could be looking at like paying $500 a week. Who can afford that, right? So let's go ahead and do this. And we'll set this at about 1/4. So we'll do 25 a week. Okay. And we're going to DCA from the top to current. You'd put in $14,375. You'd have 0.46 Bitcoin. Look at that. You'd have 268%. The other one was 208. This is 268. This actually outperformed the other way on the dynamic DCA. And obviously, you know, if you've got more weeks that you have more money, you can always up that week. But overall, guys, this is why we do the Piper plan, and then we have a take profit plan when we hit wristband 7, wristband 8, wristband 9 in our Discord. So $5 a month to get you access to Bitcoins, Ethereums, Litecoins, XRP, Solana, Ethereum, XLM, renders in there, Doges in there. There's a bunch of them in there. So we look at all of those DCAs every week and we put out, hey, this is your DCA amount. So your question, long or short, long term? Always long. DCA, spot buy, don't ape in, have patience. It will all play out. We're here for next cycle. I am in the market today for next cycle, 2030. I don't care what happens to the end of this week. Oh, Alexander G dropping 5 Piper Academy memberships there. Appreciate you, lady. Let's jump over to chat cam. There we go. Shout out to Alexander G. You are amazing. Here, you know what? I'm going to match you. Watch this. Let's go with membership gifting. Here we go. Send 5. There's 5 more. Now we have 10. Now we have 10, and we just gave out some memberships here. Who got those memberships? Lasers go pew pew. Vincent B. Christopher Columbus picked up one. Who else? Valera, and then James Simpson. And then mine went to Crypto Farmer, I should say. Ace Crypto. Unzied. I don't know. Clayt the Great, shout out to you. I see you there, bro. And then Cornomima. I don't know who that is, but there we go. There we go. Cool. I'm investing now for when I'm in Piper's age. There you go. That's it. That's what you do. Guys, it takes a long, hard road to save up money. Oh, BC Port Clip also dropping one there, man. Appreciate you, bro. Getting all these members in, guys. Getting all these members in. You guys are going to have full access to everything on that DCA Piper plan. There's also some trade setups in there from OC and JR. Shout out to JR and OC guy. Some great trade setups in there from them. And then, of course, just a great community. So I had a request yesterday on Discord, by the way, to take a look at Tesla. So let me go take a look at Tesla and let's see what we got going on here. Get this up here. This is for Eric Wallen. He said, Piper, can you take a look at this and tell me what the hell is going on here? And I said, sure, I got you. He wants to know which way this is going to break out of this 3-month triangle. So let's jump over to the chart, take a look at that. Let's see here. Looking here at the Tesla on the 4-hour. What he's talking about is this 3-month, there's a 3-month trend here on this thing. If we go back and look at the, is this 3 months here? That would be May. Yep, right there, May to July. So he's talking about this triangle here. It's a symmetrical triangle. And typically it's 50-50 on the breakout of this. But if you take a look at what this actually does, it has a very slight higher likelihood to continue the trend from which it came. So if this had come down and we started into this triangle, it likely would go down. That would leans a little bit more that way. Coming up into a symmetric triangle, it tends to go up a little bit. Okay. And so what I'm seeing here on this is right now we're on a bottom and we're overlapping on a golden pocket. Okay. If we hold this golden pocket as support, this thing is very likely moving to the upside and breaking out of this positive. Okay. If we lose this golden pocket and we break out of this, very likely heading down to the platinum pocket. And I do have a level here at 229,884. This was a buy level that I put in a while back. It's based on where this value area low was at, and then also to top that off, there was a nice level here of bouncing, right? That had been going back here. You can see right there. Yep, it's in this volume range. There's a gap here. And I said, if we fall down to this gap, we have another one here, pick up at that 229 range, and that would have done quite well for you. But the one thing that I am seeing here when we pull this up and we look at this on the 4-hour, check it out. This is why I think this is going to be going up, Eric Wallen. Bullish divergence, power bar waned right there on the oscillator Pro Plus saying, hey, this is a bottom signal, right? We got the uptrend arrow. We're moving up. Money flow is coming down, but I think that this thing is going to come up here. It might do a fake out liquidity grab just to grab that stuff and then go back up. But I do believe that this is going to move up from here. And I think Tesla's got more upside. Of course, this is going to be dependent upon the macro factors of the economy, what's going on with Trump tariffs, things like that. But if things stay status quo, snafu, situation normal, all left up, then I think that we do a break side to the upside here, breaking out of the symmetric triangle. With a target on this, I would say we're probably looking at a return to the 236 of 424. Just one man's opinion. If we do a measured breakout on this thing, can you not magnetize for me, please? Let's do a measured breakout on this thing and just see. But I'm just basing that one off the fibs, so let's go here. So let's say it broke out there. You're looking at 400 psychological number. Okay, yeah, I can go with that. We'll go with that, 400. But yeah, that's what I'm seeing on Tesla there. Let's go and see what else we got here. Let's look at Ethereum. Good old Ethereum on the 4-hour. We did get a hidden bearish divergence coming in here in a downtrend on this. If we lose this value area low, guys, I'm watching for the 50 at 32.63. Just my target there. Of course, if you want a DCA away. Oh man, SWE. Look at SWE losing. It got rejected right on the daily there. I want to pull this over and put this on like a 3-minute. I want to see where we're at with the orbs. Orb. Spring on the power of chart prime. The power of chart prime compels you. All right, let's go see here. What are we seeing here on orbs? All right, New York area. We lost the orb completely. It's on its way down. Let's go see Bitcoin. Oh, yeah. Look at that. Beautiful. There's our orb pumped up into it. Rejection off the upper band, and down it goes. So that would have been a beautiful one for a scalp right there. What would that percentage move been? Enter on the top of the orb to now. You'd be at like 1.5 plus times your leverage. Oh, LBC dropping a super chat there, or dropping a membership there, gifted membership. Appreciate you, brother. Shout out to you. All right, guys. Yeah, just keep an eye. If you guys want to know how to use any of these indicators from Chart Prime, you guys can pick these up. They give 28 hours a month of free live classes with Alex O Crypto and the OC guy teaching you guys how to use all these things. And you just saw there, beautiful rejection on the orb, auto printed. I didn't have to do anything. It's just there. So appreciate everyone joining me here today. We're going to be heading out. I got a lonely show. My voice is getting a little hoarse, but hey, tomorrow, hopefully OC is back. Guys, be careful of the markets today. I do think we're going to have a little bit of sell-off happen, but alumni, 5-month or 6-month member. I love you all. Have a radical day. Guys, if you don't follow Lunar Beaches Crypto, you guys need to make sure you go follow him over on his YouTube. Alexander G just dropped that there. So we're going to head out of here, guys. I appreciate everyone that joined us today. Let me go see. Is there a redirect today? Let me go see if I have a redirect for you guys. So I can send you over to another show like Alex O did for me, because that's what we do. We pay it forward, right? Much love to everybody. Oh yeah, we do. It's right there. Looks like Crypto Princess is live right now. She just started a little while ago. So, all right, guys, we're going to be heading over to Crypto Princess. When you get over there, drop the graduation caps in there. Let them know that we're here. But, guys, I do think we're going to have a little bit of market sell-off today. Trade safe. Use the risk management. Please, please, please. It saves marriages, okay? And we will catch you guys all back here tomorrow morning. OC will be live at 8 p.m. today with Trey live on OC Guy right here on the Piper Academy Network tomorrow morning. BC Port Corp will be back with Good Morning Crypto, and we'll be back at 10 a.m. bringing you guys the news, the charts, the headlines, everything you need to have knowledge, because knowledge is profit. Until then, peace, love, and profits. Later, guys.
That's the rap. Chart stack data never lie. Piper led the mission, OC in the sky. Spaghetti on the screen, but the vision stay prime. Chart prime visual signals on time. Alumni strong, we built from the grind. Lessons in the market that'll outlive time. Knowledge is profit, you know how we run. Till the next one, stay sharp, get it done.
You can't handle the truth. Emotional damage.
We'll see you at the next
Don't
one.
know what the fuck they're doing.
Morning market report out, 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 out.
Boom shakalaka.
We'll see you at the next one. Morning market report out. We'll see you at the next one. Morning market report. Ow.
That was awesome, dude.
Hey, it didn't break. What else you got?